Hi, everybody. I am finding time is flying by as it usually does when you're super busy. I have found lots of time, I think, to kind of juggle the two roles that I have as a child protection social worker in the same office building as my other role in my internship, which is doing therapy. Anybody that's referred to us actually comes within the agency, and so they're usually clients that have had experience with social services, youth behavioral health, child protection, things like that. And so we often work with young clients and their parents on parenting skills. This week, I actually got to do some really cool assessments for the first time. I'm starting to work on DAs and treatment plans, which has been really interesting. My therapy client today uh, is 11, and she is um, diagnosed with pretty significant ADHD and OCD. So I noticed, really saw when things were out of place and would put things away as she took them out, and would almost get a little upset if things didn't get picked up during our time. It was really interesting to kind of see her doing that. Our goal today was engagement. We met with her about a week ago, and we did a get to know you. Last time it was a game that had two bags. They had questions in the bag, and it was even or odd. So you picked a card, and if it was even, you picked out of the even bag. If it was odd, you picked out of the odd bag. And we went through all the questions. Every question she answered, she got a stick, and then that stick could be turned in for a piece of candy at the end. And so she ended up getting like 12 sticks or something like that. But we found out a lot of information about her. Some What would you want your family to do differently? Um, what's your favorite color? If you could have any animal in the world, what would it be? If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? Kind of stuff. And then we answered questions also. My supervisor for my internship is the therapist also. She was there, and so the three of us are just connecting right now, tag teaming this a little bit, and I'll primarily be working with her grandma and grandpa, but need to engage her in the process as well. Um, right now, she is between two houses. She's visiting her mom and living with her grandparents full time. Her mom's rights were terminated when she was 5, so she's been living with her grandparents for about 7 years, and 2 of those were prior to her mom's drug conviction and then the termination that resulted from some of the use that she had. Um, so today we had noticed during the last session that she was just really closed off. She didn't really say a lot during that session. She didn't speak a lot, and so we really spoke to each other today about the importance of just engaging her in the process. She was like, "Why am I doing this?" She wasn't really sure she wanted to do therapy. "Where are you taking me?" So we sprung her from school. Obviously, she knew we were coming, but we picked her up early today and brought her back to. We have a play therapy room, which is new to the work a little bit at the office, just newly getting set up. And we played some games. And one of the games was each of us put on a very silly hat. Mine was yellow and lime green and had big long dreads that came down. There was like a Santa hat, a hat with horns, some tubes, just some crazy hats. And she was put in charge, which she was like, "Well, I'm in charge," which was interesting to see kind of that role. And then anytime she said switch, we had got to pick a new hat. So she tested it right at the end too, which was interesting to me that she tested it. So we're kind of getting to know each other. We're playing a similar game about get to know you that we did last time, but really just trying to follow her lead, get to know her, let her lead the engagement process through the play. So by the end, she was really having a great time. We had a snack, just very normal. And one of the things that I really picked up on this week was the importance not only of engagement, which we know, but letting kids lead. We can't come in as therapists and assume kids are going to get what we do right away and just start answering our rapid fire questions about their lives and their two homes. And our goal as therapists might be to come in and say, what do you need different? Let's fix this. All right, these are your behaviors. Let's work on that. You clearly want to change. And really, kids need you to come in and partner with them and find out where they are at. So the other strategy that I used with another kiddo who has significant ADHD is I engaged them in an activity where I needed an assessment done. And so I would throw a ball and he would catch it, and I would ask my question, and then he would throw a ball at me and ask me a question if I caught it. And so we played that for about 20 minutes before his attention span wore out, which I probably would have gotten only like 5 maybe minutes out. And so I got about half the questionnaire done. We'll do the other half next time. And it's regarding, just him, anxiety, depression, all those things. Just kind of a general assessment that we do as part of our diagnostic assessment at Olmsted County. So it was really interesting to start kind of having those conversations. I've had a really good time. I've gotten to know about 5 clients right now that I'll be doing therapy with in different settings. So one family I'm working with the grandparents, another family I'm actually going to engage the mom, another family I'm going to be specifically working with the kid, and I just got a new referral today for a teen girl. So I'm excited that I'm going to get to see and experience a lot of different types of family systems and how to work with a lot of different types of therapy. I'm going to be starting cognitive behavioral therapy this next week, and I started exploring just some different tools to do that in a very successful way. But going back to kind of that engagement, how important that is. Above any kind of therapy, you have to have some rapport with your clients. And so going back to the basics, just get to know them and let them get to know you a little bit. Be open to the asking questions. Not that they're asking you about your kids, not that they're asking you personal questions, but just being open to answering for kids why you're doing what you're doing and who you are, and kind of giving part of yourself to that process too, to help build some of that trusting relationship. And I guess that's my question this week. If you have kids ask you hard questions about yourself, maybe a kid asks you how many kids you have. Do you answer? My answer to that this week is yes. If it's not something that's going to cross the boundaries or impact the work, and they want to know something about me, I'm open to sharing that with them by keeping the focus on them. Sometimes it helps them feel comfortable that you're a mom. Sometimes it feels like engagement. I tell kids all the time, like, well, I have 9 kids sometimes at my house, so it gets a little bit crazy and loud, and, is your house loud? And then some clients I would never share that information with. It's something that I choose not to share for a variety of reasons, that it's not relevant. It's not about me in that moment, whatever the situation is. But if I choose to share it and it feels something would be helpful for the client, I would be open to sharing some personal things. So I just, are there things that you guys share or don't share in the therapeutic process? And then also some engagement strategies you've used with kids as well that has been helpful in your work with kids. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.